What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about the forgotten mode of Modern Warfare 2 that's more important than you thought, a new mission, and something you may have missed. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, because we're very close to 100,000 subscribers here on the main channel. Really appreciate it. Also drop a like and turn notifications on to stay up to date with everything going on in Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, Warzone Mobile, and any other future Call of Duty as well. Also a huge announcement now. I've seen lots of comments and even DMs over the last couple of days asking about a giveaway bot in the comment section of my videos. This is affecting a lot of other YouTube channels as well, but just as a huge reminder for you, I do not talk about any giveaways at all in the comment section of my videos. I don't host anything over on Telegram. All of my giveaways are announced either over on Twitter or in a commentary that you see in a video like this. I will not ever ask you guys to provide personal information, especially not on Telegram. So if you guys do see a bot like that that is impersonating me or other YouTubers, report that bot immediately. It's really frustrating to see that people out there are getting scammed by bots like this, and I'm not sure why it's taken this long for YouTube to crack down on this issue. I do feel like Spec Ops has been a bit of a sleeper mode in MW2. It did come out right at launch with 3 different missions. Each of the missions offers a variety of different gameplay, which I'm totally on board with, and I know people out there that love zombies or other type of side modes in different franchises would probably argue that Spec Ops is pretty bland, or they'll say that it's not really replayable. I get where you're coming from, but I do get why it might be a good thing that Spec Ops isn't drawing too much attention, considering we have so many other modes to look forward to in Modern Warfare 2, such as DMZ, such as raids in the future. There's so much more that's going to be offered in this game that'll go above and beyond whatever Spec Ops was ever able to offer. And I also think the poor reception of Spec Ops in MW19 was warranted in terms of the stability and life support that the mode had, but the quality of that mode in terms of the ambition and the stakes of each of the missions themselves, that I was totally on board with and didn't get to really fully appreciate until I moved to PC a couple of months ago. But looking at Spec Ops right here in MW2, I do think that more time would have went into it and more missions would have been offered for it if they didn't have to dedicate so many other resources into Warzone 2, DMZ, later raids. So I'm happy with the amount of content we have in Spec Ops now, and I understand why it's not as much in comparison to recent MW releases, or recent Infinity Ward titles, I should say. There's so much more to look forward to than just the plain old Spec Ops experience. Now, there was an update to the star system, which I don't think many people out there have really been talking about. Infinity Ward did confirm. We pushed an update that reset players' weekly star counts in Spec Ops, allowing weekly stars to be earned. Stay tuned for more details on this schedule. So I'll make separate videos in the next couple of weeks talking more about how the star system really does work, how it's going to be improved, because the star system is really important for not just longevity of Spec Ops, being able to max out your kits or being able to maybe convert those stars for XP eventually, but it's also great for the upcoming release of raids. I mean, I've said it before when I talked about raids, the whole kit system in Spec Ops is exclusive to just Spec Ops. It's nothing to do with multiplayer or Warzone 2 or even DMZ. This is only something for Spec Ops and raids that you guys should probably focus on a little bit before Season 1 starts. I'd highly recommend grinding those stars as much as you can, looking at those in-game challenges, getting 3 stars on each mission by either speedrunning it or playing stealthy. I'd highly recommend that because I do think Spec Ops will get updates over the course of this year, but not as many as, let's say, a mode like DMZ or then Raid. Now, as you've seen gameplay of in the background, we have the brand new Spec Ops mission that just released with the start of Season 1 known as High Ground. Now, it does say, successfully find and destroy enemy communication servers to locate and extract 3 hard drives with vital enemy intel. One operator will be tasked with piloting an attack chopper to clear out dangerous landmines, while the other works with AI allies as part of the ground assault team to infiltrate the buildings that contain enemy equipment. Be sure to replay this mission to get those weekly stars and tackle those daily challenges for additional stars. So that was the official description of High Ground from the Season 1 blog post. Reminds me perfectly of the mission we had in MW19, where it was very similar to this. It was a 2-player only mission, even though that version of Spec Ops had 4-player missions. There was one in particular that had 1 person on the ground, another person over in a gunship, so they kind of took inspiration from that and put that here in Modern Warfare 2. Now, the mission itself is a ton of fun. I think it's actually my favorite Spec Ops mission in the game right now. I mean, let me know how you feel about it down below in the comments. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, Spec Ops isn't exactly that popular with this game because of all the other modes being offered, but it's still something that I do appreciate hopping onto every single major update. Now, something I do appreciate about Spec Ops is that we do see a different look at Al Mazrah or even eventually Los Alamos. We get a different look at these environments, either during the sunset or at night. I'm looking forward to Spec Ops and hopefully raids also expanding on that so that not every mode feels the same, even though a lot of these modes modes are going to be reusing the same maps, same environments. Let's change up the weather, change up the lighting, change up the time of day. I love seeing that and hope we get more of it in future DLC updates. Now, something strange also happened when Season 1 first started, and that is the fact that not only was High Ground added to Spec Ops as a brand new mission, but something called Mount Zaya Gun Game was also added in. I didn't get a chance to play it. There was so much going on with Warzone 2, DMZ, the Battle Pass. It just slipped my mind, and I figured, oh, I'll have a chance to play it tomorrow, but within 24 hours, it got removed from the game, which was very odd. Let me know if you guys played it down below in the comments and what you guys thought of it. Essentially just an add-on to the mission we already have at Mount Zaya, which is that survival-like experience, and I'm assuming they're going to bring that back either during Reloaded or shortly after that. Clearly, it was intended for that to go live during a later date, but it's a good sign that Spec Ops is meant to receive more and more updates at least once or twice a season. But overall, I'm excited for other party games to also be added into regular multiplayer as well. Now, something you guys probably missed, which was pointed out by COD Lorefacts over on Twitter, is the fact that the last piece of Spec Ops intel seems to hint at the Season 1 raid coming at some point in the next couple of weeks. As he wrote, the room depicted here seems to be set up like the one from the COD 4 campaign mission, No Fighting in the War Room. It even has the hole blown in the wall which we enter through. So a nice callback to the original Modern Warfare trilogy, which is probably going to be the focus of our first episode of raids coming at some point during Season 1 Reloaded, probably December 14th if I had to take a guess, which is the start of the quote-unquote mid-season update. So yeah, that's our first look at that. I'll have a separate video coming out soon talking more about what we know so far about the first raid. More and more information has been provided about the first episode, which again, I'll be focusing on in a separate video, of course, but I do love how Spec Ops and raids go hand in hand. I mean, hell, raids won't be free like DMZ is with Warzone 2. Raids are considered an expansion of Spec Ops, part of the paid Modern Warfare 2 experience. So with that in mind, I think the more you play Spec Ops and the more you get used to the environments we see in these missions, the more you'll come to understand how the raids are also going to work when those missions also likely utilize the same environments that we already have here in Spec Ops. But you look at the 3 kits, and I'm sure more kits are going to release at some point in the future. I know leaks have popped up suggesting that Spec Ops is going to get even bigger. So you look at the kits that we have, Assault, Medic, and Recon, each with their own set of perks and different advantages. I'd argue that for something like raids, you'd want to have one person using each of these kits, right? It's a 3-man squad. It just makes sense. Have one person running each one, unless you find a better strat where you have maybe 2 assaults, 1 medic, or 2 medics, 1 recon. However you want to do it, it reminds me perfectly of Extinction, making sure that people that you're playing with are running the right loadout, the right classes, the right perks, the right this, right that. And the best way to really maximize these tier kits and to really level them up to make sure they're ready is to play Spec Ops. And they're making the mode so much better with these star updates. They're adding in more missions, and there's more content coming to Spec Ops in the future that'll ensure that you're absolutely prepared for each new raid that comes out, and maybe you grind Spec Ops start of a season for a little bit at least, and then you maybe take a break to play other modes in the game, and then you return to this Spec Ops ecosystem when a raid comes out during a Reloaded patch. There's also no doubt in my mind that as more raid episodes release, as more Spec Ops missions come out, we'll end up seeing more kits and tiers added to the game's menu right now to really spice up the gameplay, because you could then change up how you used to complete some of the older Spec Ops missions or the other raid episodes, and then you can use some of those new additions to beat some of the newer missions in the newer raid episodes. So there's so much potential here with how this will be updated, and I cannot wait to see how the seasonal structure will impact both Spec Ops and even the raids. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the forgotten mode known as Spec Ops here in Modern Warfare 2? How are you feeling about the new updates the mode is going to receive and what it sets up for the future raid episodes? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.